Start recording. Go live. This is session 30. Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
Huh. Oh, speaking of things, we're gonna need to talk about Cyrus's family.
We'll get there.
We're gonna need to talk. We're gonna need that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
All
Between me and
right
Donovan.
then.
Yeah, of course.
Last time.
Duzon doesn't need to know anything.
Duzon's a tree. How would he know?
I don't know. The Lorax?
Hey, this guy and his family, you gotta hear about this shit.
Go on, keeper of the speaker for the trees. I am listening.
Swear to God. You're not supposed to double down. Sorry, continue, Don.
No, you guys are all good. Last time on Beyond the Fourth Wall, our adventurers have fully restored balance to the world of Dothod. Duzon maybe having fulfilled his pact to the goddess of death, maybe not. We have yet to see whether or not she gives him a gift or just releases him from his pact with her or anything like that.
Oh god.
But they decided they need to get back to the United Republic of Holgia, and as quickly as possible, so they have chartered a longboat crewed by a stout human, let's just call him. Luckily, there was just enough room for the 4 party members, and barely enough room in the cargo hold for Duzon's elk friend. After a day, or not even, almost a day, it basically goes from dusk to dawn. Almost back to dusk again when you guys finally reach open ocean. Once you do reach open ocean, the waves get a little more choppy, the rain gets a little more heavy, the winds get a little more windy. What do you guys do?
Very good question.
It is a very solid question.
Well, I'm assuming you and Duzon are either on deck or in your own separate rooms. If you're on deck, Rari would still be in his room. And so would Little Flame. He does not like the rain.
Fair. I'm probably on the deck, like, soaking up some water or whatever sunlight I could get.
I still never even debated whether I want to level up or get a skill for downtime. Oh man. I think I will be up on deck.
Alright, you are up on deck with Duzon. The only other person that is up on deck as of right now is the captain, who is like I said, a very stout human with a sailor's cap, almost like a flood vest. And he's kind of just sitting at the helm of the ship, keeping an eye out, smoking a pipe. As the captain looks out over the horizon, he licks his finger, holds it up into the air, and brings it back to his mouth. Aye, there be a cold front coming in. Hope ye boys have your hard weather gear.
I will be alright.
He kind of looks you up and down, just like, I believe that. The captain is going to start preparing for the cold front that is approaching you guys.
Oh my.
Fortunately, he does have higher than plus 11, so he is successful at noticing. For the next 8 hours, he's going to prepare for the blizzard.
Oh, it's that kind of thing. Huh.
Is there anything that you guys are going to do specifically to prepare for the upcoming weather event?
Still unsure.
I'll probably whenever before the blizzard starts, I'll probably go below deck then for that. So
Okay.
it's definitely the smarter idea to be indoors to some capacity than outside.
So your only preparation that you're going to take is just to simply go inside before the storm hits?
Always sit near I can always sit near Little Flame too, because he's warm.
That's true, you could always sit in the same room as Little Flame. Duzon, is there anything specific that you're going to do to try and hunker down for what seems to be a storm coming over the horizon?
I don't have any natural heat source. I'm not trying to make Little Flames stay outside to warm me up, so. No, I don't believe there's anything I can do. Unless you're able to prove me wrong.
You can do whatever you want.
Then I should be good. Where as long as I go inside, I'm gonna go inside, and then I'll be good.
Alright, so you guys are both going to go below deck right before the storm hits. The captain has to stay above deck, so I need to roll some saves for him. Because...
Yeah, ships don't have autopilot.
ships do not have autopilot. Once every 8 hours, he must attempt a DC 18 flat check. On a success, a randomly chosen PC who isn't sheltered is struck by debris. Alright, that's a failure. So no one is struck by debris yet.
I mean, we're inside. Well, actually, no, Duzon's outside.
No, Duzon went inside.
Okay, so we aren't struck by debris because we're not outside.
The captain is wearing hard weather gear, so he is immune to cold damage brought on by severe weather. During a blizzard, he needs to make a survival check to find or... Oh, he already has shelter. Well, he doesn't have shelter, but you guys already have shelter. Travel through the zone is difficult terrain. So for as long as this storm persists, you guys are going to be moving at half speed.
Unfortunate.
8 hours pass. Let's see if the storm grows weaker. Nope, does not grow weaker. I need to make a check for the captain to see if he can successfully navigate. Yes, he can. Does the captain get struck by debris? No. Another 8 hours passes. Let's see if the storm gets weaker. It does get weaker. Does it disappear entirely? Yes, I believe it does. Unfortunate. No, it does not disappear entirely. But it will weaken from a blizzard to a windstorm. So it is no longer snowing, it is merely just very, very windy.
Okay. That is handleable instead of taking persistent cold damage from outside.
Unfortunately, moving through the area is still treated as difficult terrain.
Yes.
Does the captain get hit by debris? No. Another 8 hours pass. It has officially been 24 hours. You got... I need... you, Cyrus, to roll me a fortitude save, or to see how well you sleep in the middle of this storm.
I mean... yeah, because I am one of the, 2 people that requires sleep.
The other one is Rory, so I'll make him roll when he...
Who's not here at the moment, for some reason.
Yeah, he's in his own room. He has barred himself in there. I'll make him roll for sleep when he shows up.
And his non-existent fortitude.
Better than nothing.
Just called it non-existent. But fortitude, mine's very good. Plus 18, I'm a master of fortitude. What's 18 times 2?
32? No,
That's
36.
That's what I have. I have 18 times 2. I rolled 18 on the dice.
You
2 plus
are
18.
you're completely fine. You sleep like a person that just inhaled chloroform. You do not struggle to sleep. Another 8 hours pass. Let's see if the storm persists. No, it does not. The storm has finally dissipated from the area completely. Because the storm rolled a natural 1.
R.I.P. Storm.
As you wake up in the morning, you hear that the harsh winds have finally calmed down. And you can now you are unfortunately a day behind, so you have another 4 days travel through open ocean.
Yep.
The captain is gonna come down below deck and make an announcement. It'll be like, Storm's finally passed, boys. We should have smooth sailing at least for a little while.
Very good.
Now, slight question. The ship is still has like sails and stuff, right? It's still wind powered.
It is not wind powered.
Okay, never mind that.
The longship is powered by the people rowing it.
Ah. Although, oh wait, if I activate while aboard a vehicle, it's granted vehicle plus 10 circumstance to speed for 8 hours. Okay, that's something that's doable.
Oh wait, it is wind powered. It does have the ability to be wind powered. Okay.
Oh, I can pull out the little spunky cloud and offer it to use it for the captain because it's the wind at our back, so we can speed up the vehicle if we want to make up lost time.
He's definitely not gonna say no. He has to get these shipments where they need to go.
This can help make up the lost time 8 hours a day. So once per day, for 8 hours, it'll float behind the ship and give it a, since it's powered by wind, the bonus for 8 hours is the circumstantial plus 20 feet.
So it goes from 40 feet to 60 feet for the next 8 hours.
Yep, for a free tailwind.
So 6 times 8 is 38, I believe.
I think
It's 48.
yeah, I was doing the math in my head, I was like, it's 40 something. But yeah, so yeah, 40, it'd be, so yeah, 6 times 8 is 48. So yeah, I can use the wind at your back once a day.
Alrighty then.
And then when it's done, it flies back to my hands automatically.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna make up some time.
Yep.
Because of that, you now only have 2 days more travel over. Actually, wait, hold on.
I was gonna say, as part of downtime, I'm gonna try to do the what we did last time we were on the ship. I'm gonna try to level up.
Unfortunately, you can't do that in the open ocean.
The open ocean. Damn.
Once you reach shallower waters, you are more than welcome to do that, though.
Safer waters.
So long as there is no more weathered hazard, which there are
Wizards?
not. Wizards. There's no more wizards. Weather wizards. Wizards.
Joke's on you. I can make a localized rainstorm. I'm kidding.
Joke's on you, Thunderbolt.
I actually also could do that myself.
Yep. You think you know elementals, boy?
I mean, looks it familiar? Yes. Literally just familiar on the side.
Literally just a floating elemental ball shaped like an axolotl.
Yep.
Fortunately, there's no more severe weather in the next 8 hours, so you make more than enough progress to the point where you only have 1 more day of travel before you leave the open ocean, because it is now currently night and everyone is resting.
Correct.
The next morning comes, daily rations are given out. The sails are lowered and the rowers get back to work. The next day goes smoothly. No severe weather. No real
Surprises.
Huh?
No surprises.
No surprises. And you are thankful to be back onto shallow waters. And now that you are back into shallow waters, the boat is going to make its first stop at Volin. It's going to be there for 1 full day.
Okay.
Is there anything that you guys want to do at this port town? While you guys take a moment to think, I will be right back.
I'm also gonna be right back to grab something. I just realized I've been muted for quite a while. I apologize, but I will be right back.
But it sounded like you were very far away.
Yeah, because I turned my knob like really down low like this, and I forgot to put it all the way.
Fair enough. Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna be right back.
Break time for everyone, I guess. I'm gonna update my Discord so this thing stops yelling at me. Discord has been successfully updated.
Alright, I'm back. Apologies.
Welcome back.
Are you guys deciding on doing anything for this port town?
Peter also went AFK to go grab something.
Okay, then I will wait till he comes back.
I was considering going shopping to some degree. Not like intensive shopping, but window browsing, I don't know.
As you're walking around this port town, there's not really much. It basically looks like there's people just trying to survive. There's people selling crops, or at least what little crops survived the Necrostorm. There's people selling objects that they crafted, jewelry, stuff like that. Just stuff to earn enough a coin to live for the next couple weeks or months. It's even to the point where you see a couple elves who look very ragged, or well, they're wearing clothes that were at one point in time fine, luxurious clothes, but they're now all tattered, torn, dirty, sitting on a street corner with a sign that says "Anything helps."
Oh no. Could you repeat that? I just got back.
I'm saying that as you guys walk around this port town trying to
The
find...
Necrostorm left everything very destitute.
Yeah, the Necrostorm left things very destitute. There's people selling valuables like jewelry or even paintings or very fine wines. There's people that are like wearing what once was fine clothes that are now tattered and torn and dirty, who are basically just on a street corner with a sign that says "Anything helps." There's children off the pier that have makeshift spears that are spearing fish, bringing them up and running them back over to like a fire pit. Things are not great for the elves right now.
Does not look like it.
I mean, if we're gonna be there the whole day, I'll do something nice and I'll try to help out the people who are like catching fish.
Okay, how are you gonna help them out?
I have kinesis on water. I can kind of manipulate the water and kind of like get the fish out while they're stuck in the little bubble, like Katara did in like the first episodes of Avatar.
Okay, let's see if that works.
I can actually do that.
Okay, let's see if that helps the kids at all. You managed to actually trap a fish in a bubble of water and levitate it out from the shore. But unfortunate as it is, these are still kids. So they completely whiff the fish, popping your little water bubble.
So they pulled Sokka.
Yeah, they pulled a Sokka.
They're kids. We try again.
You try again.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna be there the whole day, I'll help out as much as I can.
All right.
Help them get like actual fish to help feed the people around.
While you do that with varying degrees of success, Duzon, are you going to be doing anything?
I want to see what I have, if I can do anything. I think that's... Okay. Don't think of anything that I could like pull out of my ass to help anyone. So, how about gold? What do I have? I only have 12 gold. I don't want to give. I guess I'll go up to one of the people who have like an anything helps sign and give them a gold piece.
They take the gold piece and just like, thank you, good Sir?
Help yourself.
You could tell that this person was possibly a bureaucrat at one point in time, and they don't really have any real applicable survival skills other than bureaucracy. So they take the gold coin and they're like, I actually get to eat this week.
Feed yourself. Nurture yourself. That's the best anyone can do right now.
They nod and they're like, I will.
There we go. Duzon will have his little philanthropic moment.
Little Flame is going to be going around helping people start fires.
That is a very Little Flame thing to do.
Hey, Rory's here.
Oh, Rob's here.
And it's the
I've
correct thing to do with fire.
I did not hear him
Patiently.
join.
I've been patiently waiting because I know not to interrupt in the middle of a dialogue.
So let me actually fill you in on what you missed at the start of session.
And the roll that he needs to make.
And the roll that you
Oh,
need to
boy.
make.
I'm scared.
So,
We just had a heartwarming moment with Duzon, and now, uh-oh.
Active roll Ferrari.
so essentially what you missed is that you missed the entire travel through open ocean.
Gotcha.
And during the travel through open ocean, you guys encountered a snowstorm that turned into a windstorm that then dissipated
Wonderful.
in nothingness.
We love those.
So I need you to roll a fortitude save to see how well you slept through that event.
Alright. Fortitude. 26.
You slept like a rock. So
Let's
much
go.
so much so that you haven't eaten in like 5 days.
That's bad.
So you
boy.
wake up, you are actively starving. You open your door and you notice that there are like 5 days rations just piled up outside of your door that just haven't been touched.
Yeah, so Rory's definitely chowing down.
And as you walk out of the ship onto the top deck, you notice that you're actually in a port town. And if you would like to go around and you're going to be there for the rest of the night, so you can go around and pretty much just do whatever you want at this port town.
And where is this? Is this Anholgia again?
This is in Elvish territory. You are in the Elvish town of you're in the Elvish port town of Volin. It is very destitute. There are basically people gathered around fires, roasting fish, roasting really any kind of meat that they can find. There's people that have set up stalls selling their valuables, selling like jewels, paintings, very fine wines. There's even one person who is basically sitting on the corner of a building with a sign wearing clothes that at one point they were very fine clothes, but they are now torn, worn, and very dirty. The sign that they are holding reads, "Anything helps. God's bless."
This kind of is a little familiar to Rory. Almost like a spitting image of his childhood. Except, very, very little communal help for him specifically, but and very little sympathy at that. Before Rory kind of gingerly scarfs down all of his rations, he takes a moment to gather his bearings and really get a sense of what's happened, the true aftermath of a nectar storm. And while Rari's stomach does growl, he's been through something like that before. He does take a ration, just like satiate his hunger for the moment, and then proceeds into the town, ready to do something.
As you proceed into the town, you notice that Cyrus has been helping essentially children collect food for parents who are either sickened with disease or trying to sell whatever they can to make ends meet so that they can maybe buy enough food to last the week or the month or however long they need that to last.
And the other thing I could go around and do is offer to help treat diseases by, like, spamming dash of herbs on people, but that can only do so much.
Unfortunately, these are more magical diseases due to the fact that the Necrostorm is, or was, like, it is far away, so, like, when I say they're diseased, they're not, like, actively sick, they just look a little pale. They're
starting to feel the effects.
They're starting to feel the effects, but fortunately for this town, it is quite literally on the opposite side of the country from where the Necrostorm was. So what effects they are feeling are basically just similar to the effects of a common cold.
Right.
Okay. So Rari does get a sense that people are getting helped. Rari is going to try and help wherever possible, but most important thing that he would try and find is, like, those that are struggling to, because Rari has like 1,300 gold on him. He figures he can do something with that, whereas others, when he was in this kind of situation, did absolutely nothing for him.
The person that stands out the most to you when you think gold is the person that essentially looks like they're wearing worn, torn, and just generally degraded, fine clothing that's just, like, slumped against the corner of an abandoned building, just holding a sign that says, "Anything helps, God's bless."
Okay, so I would approach him.
He looks up. Food. Spare food.
Food? I can offer you food, and perhaps a little bit more. And he takes out 5 gold coins. Now, that's just only a little bit. I also happen to know a few things to make trade. Things that you could sell or trade for food. It may not be money, but it's food. And the crafts that I could teach you could help you maybe secure your own food.
He takes the 5 gold and says, "You'd be willing to do that for me?"
I could teach you a few things for sure. Now, mind you, I'm no perfect artisan, but these have helped me in trying times. And so he's going to employ his wisdom to teach him how to make a few snares.
I am going to roll. So this dude was a bureaucrat at one point in time, so he has no survival skills.
Right.
So I'm going to roll with a -2 to try and get him to learn this. Because he knows a lot about society, knows nothing about survival.
it's basically he knows textbooks about society and textbooks of survival, but
Nope,
he's
he doesn't
never,
even know
ever-
textbooks
no,
of
not even.
He doesn't even know
Oh,
textbooks of
that's
survival. He was a bureaucrat.
So he's giving off to Rari like a real bureaucrat, true blue.
Yeah,
Never
he's
had to work
he's
really hard a day in his life. Like,
He-
never had his back bent for nothing.
he either is or was at one point in time a true white collar person that never really had to learn how to survive off of natural materials and just earn his coins so that he can earn his bread.
Right. The money just kind of comes
Yep.
with something like that, with something he may have done.
It may not have been anything major, but it was enough to
Right.
where he could live comfortably without, having to hunt for anything.
Gotcha.
So what did you get on wisdom?
So what's, was I supposed to make a will?
Nope, just
Or
regular old,
Regular wisdom?
because you're trying to teach someone survival skills, roll survival.
Okay, cool.
I feel like that starts raising questions to Rory about Silently. Wait, how does he actually know how to do this when he acts also bougie?
I got a 31.
That's really good. Unfortunately,
It's
This
too
guy.
complicated.
No, even the best teachers are failed by students who don't know what to do.
so here's the thing. This person is completely untrained in survival, and to make it even worse, they only have a +1 to wisdom.
Oh, wow.
With that being
He's a
said,
very poor student.
he rolled below a 10.
Oh my god.
You can be an
He
amazing
really doesn't
teacher.
know.
So you're trying your hardest to show him a basic, snare trap. Like, the most basic form of snare trap. And he's like, so how do I carve this notch? How do I tie that knot? How do I bend the tree to get it to snap open when it's triggered? How do I do? And you're like trying to explain it as simply as you possibly fucking can.
Right.
But this person is not understanding.
Maybe the gold can be used to hire a tutor. Also food. It was worth a decent try.
Thank you anyway, sir.
Of course. Now, with that gold, hopefully you'll be able to afford some more food. And who knows? Maybe you'll learn from the fishermen some trade. Or
I hope so. Ever since the Necrostorm happened, resources have gotten thin.
thin. You'll be surprised what you can learn when you have to fight for the food that you need.
Not to mention
was
the
in-
invading forces to the east.
Right. I never had that part happen to me.
I had a
do know
cousin.
It's like the struggle for a meal.
As you finish talking, he seems to go into his own woes, and he's just like, I had a cousin that lived out west. He stopped sending letters a few weeks ago. I hope the orcs didn't get him. And he just kind of goes into this moroseness of falling into his own sorrows, and to the point where he doesn't even really recognize that you're there anymore.
And that's where Rory, yeah, I'm not qualified for this conversation.
Slowly
Steps away.
Slowly back away.
He nods and slowly backs away, and he's like, so sorry. And he kind of mouths, so sorry. And he's going to others that might need his help.
All right.
I
So-
wonder if I've helped these kids improve their aim over the course of the day.
I'm gonna say you probably have.
So that way they're more consistent when catching fish in the future.
Yeah, they're a little bit more consistent.
Okay, well, that's something. I mean, hey, that's a permanent buffer on that.
Rory, as you're walking around, you do notice that there are, like, mothers at stands selling jewels and silverware and plates and fine ceramics, and they're like, I'll hand you this silverware set for only 10 gold pieces. Come on, that's a steal, please.
Anything of remote value basically is being sold for very cheap.
It's not even very cheap. It's just being sold for no matter what price they
Whatever.
get, they're taking it.
Like, they would take a copper for something that's priced at 100 gold.
I wouldn't say that.
On an, well,
But they would take.
they take severely discounted items.
They would take severe losses for stuff that would normally go for a market value of much higher simply because these people are just trying to survive.
So,
And I imagine they've already sold off all like the magic items that they would have had. So those would have sold first.
Either they sold them off or they are keeping them for personal use.
Yeah.
and or protection,
Yeah.
because that could be moments away from anarchy.
Luckily, this town specifically seems to have a very strong, like, commune to the point where if one family has more than enough fish, they are going to give spare fish to Mr. Businessman, who is literally struggling to do anything other than just sit there and be useless.
Yeah. So they are supporting the weakest links of their society to keep everyone standing.
So Rory goes up to the mothers who are desperately trying to sell whatever they can.
One of them turns to you and just like, your people like shiny things, right? I have this fine necklace.
How much are you going to charge for it?
20 gold.
I can assess the quality of this. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, oh, no, it's not a real necklace or whatever. But, like, Rory's gonna, like, take a moment to try and see what it's actually worth, because 20 gold sounds a little low, modest. Maybe it is a fair price, but Rory wants to kind of gauge, he's factoring in that they're desperate for survival. So he's like, are you underselling this thing? What is it really worth?
What skill are you gonna use to do so?
I'm gonna use my lore of the criminal underworld to help me understand the treasures within.
Alright, so make me that recall knowledge.
Alright, that is a 27.
As you look over this necklace, it's made primarily of opals and other, like, fine gemstones. The necklace itself is made out of a moderately graded silver. Although there is the thing that really catches your eye is the centerpiece of the necklace, which is a rather large what's it called? A rather large blue sapphire.
My. That is right.
And based off of your knowledge, you know that blue sapphire alone could probably go for like 5-10 gold.
Okay. So, pretty modest pricing for this, but it's pretty actually fair in a sense if we were talking just normal circumstances.
It's
About
pretty
20
fair,
gold.
especially because you know how to take apart jewelry and sell it for its individual pieces for a much higher profit.
I'll give you 40 for it.
Deal! Done! She basically, like, throws the necklace at you as you hold out 40 gold, and she takes it out of your hand.
I hope that can help you.
Yes, thank you.
And then he turns his attention to the others.
They are trying to push things that are much less valuable. They're trying to push very simplistic sets of silverware, very simplistic sets of porcelain, things that, even if sold either individually or as a set, won't get you very much on either regular markets or black markets.
To those families, Rory gives them 40 gold each, not even asking for anything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So, like, about, I'd say if there are, like, 3 families within the same vicinity.
Sharing the same table, there are 4 mothers. The one that you just bought the necklace from, and then 3 more.
Yep, so that's 120 gold that I give, like, cumulatively 40 gold each for the 3 remaining families.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So I hand those over, and I, like, if they try to put anything towards me, I, like, lift my hands up and my claws, and I'm like, no need. This is to help you stay on your feet.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. You're more than generous.
Trust me. There was a time when I wasn't.
She kind of nods in, like, a very understanding way.
But you know what? I am learning. If no one else can do it, you may as well be the one to step up.
You're very wise for someone of your size.
Well, I guess you don't get to be a kobold for long if you don't. But, yeah. Thanks. Take care of your family. Make sure they're fed and they stay healthy.
I'll be able to do so better now thanks to you. We all will, says, like, the one mutter that you actually bought the necklace from. Dues on your hot miking.
My bad.
Wow. my
Also,
bad.
you're far away from your mic again.
I turned it down with the intention of avoiding hot miking, but my apologies.
It's all good. With all of you guys spending the night helping around this town, you hear the captain's whistle go off of just, all aboard! Our packages have been delivered, it's time to ship out!
I'm going.
We go.
Here we go.
With that being said, you will travel the next, I'm gonna just say 14 days, making different stops and dropping off packages. For the first week, what would you guys like to do other than help people around the different port towns that you are visiting?
Within the downtime, I want to try to level up, train kineticism for my next gate.
So you were going to spend the first week just training your kineticism to level up.
Yep. And between like port town visits, yeah.
All right.
Which I could go hunting for like magic items being sold, but that's also like the destitute areas need them more.
I'll let you know the port towns that you are actually going to be visiting. So after Berlin, you would be going to the town of Durinsk, which is in Holgia. after
Which is
Durinsk.
definitely not nearly in the same state.
Oh yeah, they're much more better off.
Yeah.
After Durinsk, you would be going to the town of Belgov, which is another Elvish port town.
It's like, help the elven towns, shop in the regular ones.
For the ship itself, it's deliver parcels, pick up parcels, deliver parcels.
Yep.
After Belgov, the next area would be, let's see. Damn. The next area would be going to, Medashin, and then finally you would be arriving at, Durinsk.
Right. So, yeah, shop at the human towns, help the elven ones, train on the boat. I think that's the game plan, for me at least.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
With what?
So, like,
Help
Taking
elves,
the-
shop humans, and
train
Cyrus.
us to.
Yeah, Cyrus is training, but that whatever else you guys want to do is on you.
I'll train as well and do whatever y'all or help and train. Yeah.
I would help and train, but I am going to train my crafting. Get better at crafting and kind of expand my repertoire of snares. Improving, like, the ones that I already know, right? Making them more efficiently, maybe with less resources, you know, things like that. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how that would work.
Fair enough.
Practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking for you, Rari.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you want to stay even leveled with the rest of the party, you're going to need to level up.
Yeah.
So you could spend 1 week leveling up as a whole, and then another week leveling up specifically your snares.
Yeah, I was gonna spend the
That-
1 week level up, and I was gonna spend the other week trying to get another impulse.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I would do, yeah, if that works, timeline wise. And that's
Yeah, 'cause-
doable, that's what I would do.
Yeah, because you guys have a grand total of 2 weeks until you get back to the capital of the Republic of Holgia.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll spend my first week level up, and then I'll spend my second week trying to learn an impulse.
Okay?
Yep, that works for me. And then, of course, in the intermediate times when we're not training or improving and enhancing our skills, that would be helping survivors, helping wherever we can.
Gotcha.
So we're all pretty much the same mind.
I believe so.
Alright, so you all level up to 9. Because you
Sweet.
take the downtime to do so.
Goes without saying what I'm leveling up on my skill.
You're crafting.
Mm-hmm.
I might. Do I level up my athletics again?
You're gonna become a master athleticist.
I might.
I am now a master in Arcana.
It would bring
Not
my
master in nature.
yeah. It would bring my thing in from my athletics from a plus 17 to a plus 19. You know what? I'm doing it.
We have also forked the path again and now can control the wind.
Also, ancestry feat. I found one that's like kind of cooked.
Oh no.
Towering growth. Prerequisites: Pine Leshy heritage. I am a Pine Leshy. It says, Pine Leshies have access to this feat. I am a Pine Leshy. You're capable of growing as tall as a pine tree for a short time. You gain 2nd level Enlarge as a primal innate spell. You can cast this spell twice per day, and you must target yourself.
So you just get a free casting of Enlarge
Twice a day.
twice a day.
Oh, I'm taking that. Essentially, I think that is how I have read it. There is also solar rejuvenation, which could be good for healing. Where if you rest outdoors for 10 minutes during the day, you regain hit points equal to your Constitution modifier times half of your level. You gain this benefit in addition to any healing from treat wounds, fleshies whose plant nourishment does not rely on photosynthesis. No, I'm probably going to take tower. Yeah, I'm towering growth. Except...
Ooh, I'm torn between Snare Commando and Dragon Blood Paragon.
Also, getting, let's see, fork the path, aerial boomerang.
Wait a minute, I think I have Divine Smite. Hold on.
So, with Dragon Blood Paragon, if I improve my Cold Blood Breath, which is the only thing I could improve, creatures that crit fail their save against my Cold Blood Breath take 3d4 persistent damage of the type dealt by my Draconic Patron. But then there's the Snare, which is a reaction. And if the creature fails against my snare, it could be a diversion. Or intimidation. It could demoralize. And that's really cool. What's the Backstabber trait, Donovan?
Hold on.
I feel it's self-explanatory, but like
Is that a skill
mechanics-wise,
feat or is that ancestry feat?
that would be an ancestry feat for kobolds. It's called Between the Scales. That's where the relevant trait is.
Backstabber. When you hit an off-guard or flat-footed creature with this weapon, deal an additional 1 precision damage. In addition to normal damage, the precision damage increases to 2 if the weapon is a +3 weapon.
Oh wow. Dang, this is tough. I don't know if I want Dragon Blood Paragon Snare Commando. Ooh, but then there's Snare Genius too. Snare Genius does kind of make good for Rari. When's the next ancestry feat? Oh gosh. Not till level 13. Yikes. Oh, that's hard. Okay. I improved crafting. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Snare Genius.
And Snare Genius is your ancestry feat, correct?
Yes.
I see Snare Commando, but not Snare Genius.
Snare Genius is a level 5 ancestry feat.
Maybe you said you increased your crafting, right?
Increased from my, yeah, to expert.
Ancestry feat.
And that's one of the requisites that I'm trained in snares.
Okay, so that's why. Alright, cool. What skill feat did you take?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Gotcha. Duzon.
I'll take Bargain Hunter.
Bargain Hunter, got you.
Uh-huh. What?
What? You said you took Towering Growth and skill increase to your athletics, correct?
Yes.
Oh, hey, you get Divine Smite.
I know. I gotta figure out what the hell this means, though. It's very vague and confusing.
A guilty conscience assails foes who spurn your glimpse of redemption. A foe that responds to your glimpse of redemption by dealing damage takes persistent good damage equal to your charisma modifier. So go into your focus spells. Wait, hold on, glimpse of redemption.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. It's all the way in your level 1 abilities. It's a reaction, Glimpse of Redemption. An enemy damages an ally. You and the ally are both... the enemy and the ally are both within 15 feet of you. The foe hesitates under the weight of its sins as visions of redemption play in their mind's eye. The foe must choose one of the following options. The ally is unharmed by the triggering damage, or the ally gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 2 plus your level. After the damage effect is applied, the enemy becomes enfeebled 2 until the end of turn. In addition, it takes good damage equal to the blah 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 blah.
Damn.
Cyrus. You there, Cyrus?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even hear you call me.
What was your skill increase?
I am now a master in Arcana.
Thank you. What was your ancestry feat?
Genie weapon familiarity. So I now have trained proficiency with falchions, ranciers, scimitars, and tridents. I also gain access to all uncommon geniekin weapons.
Okay.
And then for the purpose of determining proficiency, they count as martial geniekins count as simple, and advanced count as martial. Which means I can actively use more weapons.
Genie weapon familiarity. Gotcha. And what element did you take?
I forked the path into air,
You forked the
And
path
I-
into air.
and resulting from that, I also learned aerial boomerang. And then perception
Air-
expertise.
How did you learn aerial boomerang?
Every time you fork the path, you get a free feat from that element. You
Oh.
get a free impulse.
Okay.
It'd be like that.
There it is. I see. Aerial boomerang, you said, right?
Yep.
All right.
I wanted to learn another impulse as the other week.
I'm sorry, you said what?
For the second week thing I wanted to do, I wanted to try to get another impulse. My normal learns.
I'm not sure how I would implement that on Path Builder.
I'm also not sure. I've been trying to figure it out, and it's.
I have an idea.
Hmm.
Just write it down, honestly,
Okay.
because I'm not sure how to actually implement that on Path Builder. And I
Right.
don't think Path Builder will actually let us implement more than you should know,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yeah. Probably not till like level 11 when reflow elements hits when I can actually start replacing things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So until that point, maybe pick
I will
something
put in
else
details.
to learn about.
Okay. Good thing to learn about then. Become trained in.
What are you becoming trained in?
I'm trying to think like what's a good thing to train in. It already has so many trainings.
You're not trained in occultism.
So I'm not.
I remember you talking about how you would like to be trained in either occultism or something similar.
Then I'll train the occultism stat. Hamana.
Humana. Did somebody order extra Humana?
And then you'll spend the other week training occultism.
Alright, you are now trained in occultism. Character options.
add this? Shit. Wait, how did you add the training?
I am actively trying to figure that out.
Other than that, other than those two things, I don't think there's anything else I would want to do with that week of downtime.
Honestly, being trained in something gives you proficiency of plus 11 to whatever the stat is. So your
Yeah.
occultism would be the exact same as like your medicine and as well as your lore of wood and all your other lores. So until we
And
figure out that,
society.
until we figure out how to actually add that like officially,
Yeah.
I feel like that's much easier to keep track of than
Yeah.
a whole different thing, a whole new
Yeah.
impulse.
Yeah, I mean, the impulse I was planning on learning was Cyclonic Ascent, which is basically gives me fly speed.
Nice.
And it's pretty much just that for the 10 minutes. It's not even a complicated impulse.
Honestly, if you want to learn that, you can, or you could just be trained in occultism. Up to you, so long as you can remember it.
So I think next level I get a free training anyway. So I'll take Cyclonic. I'll take flying.
All right.
I can ascend. I'm gonna write that in details. So it's in the notes.
All right. With all of that being said, you guys finally arrive at the capital of the United Republic of Holgia. The captain bids you all farewell and thanks you for your contribution to his ride. As he picks up another shipment of cargo to be off to deliver it to more people in need. Now that you guys are in the capital of the United Republic of Holgia, what do you guys plan on doing?
That is a great question.
If you need a reminder, in the Republic, in Durinsk is a walled city with a fortress in it. It also has a port, obviously, because it is a port town, and it is the capital of Holgia. So it has a lot of their inside the fort is like a lot of their key administrators and stuff like that. You would know that specifically, Cyrus.
Yeah. Bougie knowledge. Right. So, we're back in the town. We're back in Durinsk. Yeah, I don't know about the other two, but Cyrus is probably just gonna take off and vanish into the streets, go home, tell his parents he's okay.
Alright, you do that. Cyrus, Duzon, you see as... Rari, Duzon, you see as soon as you guys get off the boat, Cyrus, boom, bolts. He is leaving you guys in the dust.
Home! Home!
Very well.
Gone.
While Cyrus makes his way back to his parents, is there anything Duzon or Rari is wanting to do?
And if I get caught up, I can fly now.
So,
Well, we're back in this city. Was there any reason
Well-
particular we came back here? Or is this just because we were here last time?
Completely out of character. We had agreed that because we had been seeing, or well, through the magic map, that borders were starting to be expanded on the Elven Kingdom,
That's
especially Holgia's, which is the strange occurrence. We decided to go gather information at the root.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
And then, neglecting to either mention, or if you didn't remember, Cyrus, this is Cyrus's hometown. If he never mentioned it, then that's on him. If he mentioned it at one point, then I don't
Duzan's
remember.
a being of nature. That doesn't imply he has the best memory.
real.
Actually, shouldn't that mean he has a really good memory? Because nature remembers a lot of things.
He doesn't. He's a very old tree.
Did he
Very
forget dementia meds? Did he forget his Alzheimer's and dementia meds?
Yes. His sap.
All right, if Rory and Duzon don't really have anything specific they want to do, then I'm going to follow Cyrus in his quest to meet up with his parents.
Well, I mean, Rory doesn't have anything right now.
Going once. Going twice. 3 times. Alright, Cyrus.
Zoom.
You bolt through the city, conjuring a cloud to hover above the normal
If I
foot
need
traffic.
to. If I need to.
I'm just saying you are.
Okay.
Hovering above your everyday foot traffic, making it just that much faster to get to your way home. You never said if your sister still lives with your parents or not in your backstory.
I never did specify. I left that to interpretation of if she's either living or if she comes back periodically from whatever she does, etc.
Okay. Then let
I
me
left
roll.
that for interpretation.
Let me roll percentile for that.
I mean, she got her own life.
Okay, she's not there right now.
Fair enough.
You make it back to your home of old, and I'm assuming you start frantically knocking on the door.
Yes.
You hear your mom answer from inside. One moment.
Must open the door.
Not too much later, you hear the door unlock and your mom opens the door and she kind of like looks slack-jawed, just like, Cyrus!
I got teleported randomly somewhere. I don't know. Hug.
Hug.
Immediate hug.
She's like, that's okay, you can explain later. She hugs you, brings you into a deep, warm-hearted hug.
Where's Dad and Grandma?
Your father's off in the fortress discussing with the others. Grandma's in the kitchen.
It's been a rough few weeks.
I'm sure you disappeared suddenly without telling us anything. But that can be explained later.
This feels great to be back.
Your mother...
The axolotl is gonna poke out of the familiar satchel and start flying around again.
Fair enough.
What is it? He's happy too. He's a happy little boy too.
Your mother is going to lead you into the kitchen where your grandma is cooking up stews as well as, usual luncheon, dinner type foods. You say hi to your grandmother. I'll send a message to your father that you're finally home.
Thanks, Mom.
She kind of like tussles your hair a little bit and then goes off to write her missive and send it off.
And then, like, knock on the doorway. Grandma, I'm finally back home.
She kind of turns away from the soup, taking the ladle out, tapping it, putting it to the side. What happened, dearie? Why'd you disappear so suddenly? As she, like, starts shuffling over.
Crazy wizard, I got teleported to some ancient ruin all the way in Dwarvish territory.
Oh, so you went to go see the dwarves.
Not by choice.
Wow. Maybe not by choice, but I hope you had fun while you were there. Drank some good stew, ate some good meals, no?
Right. And then I had to help some tree guy fill a pact with a death goddess to kill a necromancer.
You said your grandmother is also, like, magical variety, right?
Everyone in his family is very magical variety.
Alright, cool. You say that you helped a tree person fill the pact with a death god. I'm gonna see if she knows anything about that.
She's like a ritualist diviner.
Nope, unfortunately she rolled very low.
His mother's a healer, his father is spirit medium to some regard. So he speaks with the dead.
Unfortunately your
In
grandmother... Oop, go ahead.
His mother's a healer, and then his grandmother's a ritualist and diviner. She's usually quite good at her job.
Usually she's quite good at her job. Unfortunately, she seems to be more concerned about you rather than the people you were traveling with and their business with certain gods.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like lifting up your arms, checking you over, making sure you're okay.
I'm fine. Physically.
Well, I'm sure you can go for a right cup soup right now.
Taste of home? Yes.
She's gonna shuffle her way back to the steaming cauldron of soup and ladle up a bowl or a cup of soup for you and hand it to you. Correct me if I'm wrong, Donnie, but I don't think your character has actually met Granny yet.
He would have known his grandma.
No, not Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Granny.
Oh, Granny. Yeah, no, my character has not met Granny.
Okay, then.
My character was not there during the whole conspirator dragon and pre that.
As
I
Cyrus...
just had no interaction with Granny.
You will, eventually.
That is a threat.
It's not. She makes good food. While Cyrus reunites with his family and will eventually reunite with his dad and explain everything that has been happening over the past month and a half. Since his sudden missing person status. Duzon, Rari, what are you guys doing in the meantime?
Well, Honestly, Rory's kind of just glad to be home after dealing with a Necrostorm, a Mad Wizard, being teleported. Like, Rory, I mean, he's just kind of trying to relax a bit. As much as relaxing can be for someone who's almost died several times.
As you're looking for a place to wind down and relax, give me a perception check.
Sure. That is a 27.
As you're looking around for a good place to, like, take a load off your feet, get a nice drink, a nice hearty meal, you see a very familiar shack with a large sign that says Granny's Foodery.
Oh, thank goodness. Ah, that's what I need.
Duzon, you also see Granny's Foodery.
I'll follow Rory to keep him company. But Duzon's mindset right now is like, you know, all this has happened. We just passed several towns who are like in need of food. We just dealt with the stuff back in the Dwarf Kingdom. I still don't know if this death goddess is gonna come back saying, "Hey, you actually didn't do anything." And surprisingly on edge.
Duzon is
he's a thing
actually
where,
on
you know,
edge for the first time in a while.
You know, it's a long boat ride. And a long teleportation time.
Been a long teleportation.
Yep. The like, funniest thing too is that's probably the fastest you guys have seen Cyrus move in a hot minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rory definitely goes in and tries to get a table and just try and see what Granny's serving for the day.
As you go inside, you see the familiar old woman through the open window into the kitchen, hunched over a steaming cauldron. She looks up, one bulbous yellow eye staring over the people that just entered her tavern. Well, 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 if it isn't my favorite little kobold.
Oh, you flatter me, Granny.
What can I do you for today?
Well, what seems to be cooking on the menu for today?
Oh, do I have something special for you? Seeing as you helped so many people escape that plague.
Oh, I'm eager to try it, Granny.
Well, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. About, I'm gonna say 15 minutes later, she slaps down a plate, large rectangular metal plate in front of you, and on top of it is a chunk of rump roast from some kind of animal that has scales.
Interesting. But it is better than rations.
If you can guess what the secret ingredient is, you can get a prize.
Now, I am a fan of prizes. Let's dig in and see if I know what this is.
As you look this over in finer detail, the scales on this meat are black, but the meat inside of the scales is wrapped around a bone. It's a nice, perfect medium, and it looks very, very juicy, fatty, and it looks like you could almost just slide the bone off of out of the meat.
Ooh. Scaled creature, though. Rory is thinking of all the scaly things that he's ever seen. He doubts that Granny would serve him kobold, as that would be
Cannibalism.
very concerning. But, you know. So he's thinking, this could be some sort of draconic, like a wild dragon, or something similar to that. Could Rory do a sort of this meat isn't common meat, right? This isn't like
Absolutely
easily
not.
identifiable. Okay, cool.
I would hardly
So-
define anything Granny serves as
It
common.
makes sense. Fair enough. So, as Rory contemplates, maybe I think he's gonna go for an underworld check, see if he's familiar with any butchers that might have sold this particular cut of meat before.
Yeah,
What if
you
she
can
hunted it.
you can try and recall that knowledge.
That is a 22.
Nope.
Not a clue? Okay, great.
Unfortunately, due to the fact that you've been missing from this continent for a little over like a month and a half, and also due to the fact that Granny definitely goes out and gets her own food, or ingredients.
I literally just said, wouldn't she have hunted it? What if she hunted it?
If she
I
can't
believe
hunt it herself,
I believe
she
it.
would definitely go to like a black market and buy it, but due to the fact that Rory has been actively missing from this continent for over a month, yeah, unfortunately you don't really know any of the underworld gossip.
Right, it's been far too long for the local gossip to reach his ears, and eventually Rory will try and catch up on the gossip. But for now, Rory's just like, I guess there's only one way to really find out what this meat is, and that's to taste it. And so Rory takes a knife and fork, and if the meat is that tender, it just kind of slides off as he consumes his first bite.
The only thing you really need the knife for is getting through the scales. Other than that,
Right.
it falls apart.
That is just beautiful meat right there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. As you take your first bite, it's truly an explosion of flavor in your mouth. You get various different spices. You get the butteriness of the rendered fat from the meat. You get the tenderness of the meat itself. It tastes very smoky almost. It tastes very like smoky, very barbecue-esque, very heavily seasoned, very heavily braised with different types of butters and oils. This has probably been cooked and rendered down multiple different times to get it this tender and this succulent. With that being said, however,
Not rush.
I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Okay. 17.
17, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Unfortunately that
Fortitude save to eat.
unfortunately that fails.
I figure.
You take a bite, and you are lost in this cacophony of wonderful, excellent flavors. You can't pinpoint anything specific.
That sounds like what Rari would do, in that case. Because again, I was thinking even if I somewhat had a clue, Rari's not used to such decadent meals. Ever. Those don't come often. And those rarely, like... So... Anyway, as you were saying?
For the... because you failed, it is only going to be minor. For the next 24 hours, you gain a boon.
Nice.
You gain Death Adverse. You get a +1 to all death saving rolls. For the next 24 hours.
I feel like that's gonna be useful for Rari for some reason.
Granny is just kind of like looking at you with her one eye and just, well, do you know what the secret ingredient is?
I'm afraid it's so good I can't quite think of it. But you stumped me, Granny.
Good answer. You know how to make Granny smile.
But it is very delicious, that much I can say for sure. I'm assuming saying that isn't the right answer.
Unfortunately, that is not the secret ingredient. Whenever the rest of your friends come along, they will each get opportunities to guess the secret ingredient.
For sure. But until then, Rory is going to continue digging in and enjoying his meal.
Meanwhile, Duzon in the same place.
See, I know I don't have to eat to live, but can I taste?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Screw it, I'll guess the ingredient.
Are you gonna try some of Rari's, or are you gonna order your own?
He's better order his own.
I'll order my own. I'm gonna order my own. I need.
Okay.
Granny's meals cost a little bit more. Granny is going to ask for 3 silver from each of you.
Easily paid. Easily paid.
1 gold is 10 silver, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I have silver on me, so I just handed the exact amount. And I'll toss, like, if there's a tip jar, I'll toss a gold coin in there too.
I imagine that there's just like a floating tip jar that's just casually, idly floating around the inside of this tavern.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give her a gold coin and tell her to keep the change.
She kind of like pats you on where your cheek would be. Oh, you're too kind.
Anything for you.
You better keep that promise.
Whoops. Borealis, either forgive me or you're welcome.
As she comes back and puts this in front of you, I know you're good at keeping promises, Duzon of the Seasons.
Except that one time, just...
Yeah.
And she kind of just slowly slinks back into the kitchen after placing this food on your table.
So what is this food?
So you know those like anime chunks of meat on a bone?
Oh, okay.
It looks like that, except it has black scales around it.
Okay.
It's very, very tender. If it weren't for the scales, the meat would be actively falling off the bone right now.
And what color are the scales again?
The scales are black.
Interesting. So I'm thinking alligator, or no, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fearing kobold.
Honestly, if Rory becomes a cannibal because of this, it's worth it.
I just kind of look, Duzan kind of just looks at Rory and he just chewing gets slower, like,
Just looking at.
Rory, you don't notice. You're too consumed by the flavor of this meal.
I am fully aware.
Duzan, what skill would you like to use to determine the secret ingredient?
I want to use, could I use nature?
Yes, you can.
Sweet, because I have a feeling this, like, I don't know how I would know what kobold tastes like, but the scales being black and not alligator-like, at least to my knowledge. Unless if I know what gator tastes like.
You don't know what
by
anything
the way-
tastes like. This is really the first time you've ever
That's fair.
consumed meat.
Yeah. Which fair enough, but the amount of restaurants that I've been to in Florida, back when I was in Florida, that actually serve gator regularly.
Oh, I know. Gator tastes so good.
I've never had it, but I'd be open to try it.
Alright, I got a 21.
As you're looking this over, these scales are
Wait. I
definitely...
lied. It was 31, I lied.
Oh, 31. Even better.
I had a 15 on the die.
As you look over this chunk of meat, these scales are definitely draconic in nature.
Oh god, Rory ate one of his own.
Is that all I'm getting?
It's not cobalt.
Oh good. That's a relief.
It's definitely not cobalt because you look at the size of Rory and you look at the size of this chunk of meat, and unless it was an exceptionally large kobold, kobolds do not have this much meat on their bones.
So then I think it was a dragonborn, right?
Could be.
If dragonborns exist in this world.
Dragonborn do exist.
Okay.
Or it could just be the dragon.
Yeah, but a dragon would have to have a big ass clump of meat, and enough for me to have a piece of its scales. You know how big dragon scales are?
Huge.
I know.
So if these scales are the size I'm thinking, I would think the dragonborn.
Are you gonna call over Granny to place that guess?
I will.
She comes over and just like,
Whatever it is, it's delicious.
she comes over and just, would you like to guess the secret ingredient?
Yes. It's the scales are too big to be the same species as my friend here. So I shall go with the next one I in mind. I believe this is dragonborn meat.
Close, but incorrect.
Darn.
Having actually eaten it, please make me a fortitude save.
I am a master at fortitude. Which gives me a 29 with an 11 on the die.
Hey, you actually meet the DC.
Oh, nice.
It was 11 on the die, so
Because you meet it, you get moderate, Deathbane. So you get a +2 to any and all death effects or death rolls for the next 24 hours.
Is that good or bad?
That's good.
Definitely good.
Okay, cool.
You basically got the same thing that Rari got, but better.
Better.
Nice. And I'm already like Die Hard and Juggernaut and
I'm the
bunch of shit that
Juggernaut,
makes-
bitch!
a bunch of shit that makes me hard to die. I'm essentially Omni-Man if he couldn't fly.
Omni-Man if he couldn't fly.
Where's Mark? Where's Mark, William?
Well, I must say, it is good to see you boys again.
It's good to see you again and not be plagued
Hello.
by a plague.
You say something, Duzon?
Hold up.
Holding on. Rari, I'm gonna say, like, by now you are, finished your meal.
That was by far the best draconic something that I ever did eat. Well, in general, this is probably the best meal I've ever had in a long time. I think the last time being months ago at Granny's. So, that is to say, at least, in a bit. Well, Duzon? What do we do
Duzon is
after
currently
this?
muted.
Oh. Rory kind of just waves at Duzon, like, as he, like, stares into the abyss, but after seeing him being despondent, he's just like, well, I do have the coin from the Thieves Guild for a favor. I could... nah, I won't use that yet. I need to catch up on what's been happening in my absence. And so Rory will try to catch up with the Thieves Guild and see what's been happening since the Necrostorm Dothod mishap.
So there's a few ways you could do that. You could use your knowledge of society to try and gather information. You could use your diplomacy to gather information. Or you can use your lore of the underworld. Your lore of the underworld to gather information.
So I could use diplomacy, society, or underworld.
Yep.
I am going to use the underworld.
Okay. You converse underworld. The place is for the next 2 hours or longer. You are able to spend coin on bribes, drinks, or gifts in the underworld. On a success, you gather information about your individual or topic. On a failure, you gather on a critical failure, you gather incorrect information about the individual or topic.
So,
And you are trained for this, so the most you can do is try to get rumors.
that'll be... I'm an expert in underworld lore.
Oh, okay. So because you're an expert, you can try to get obscure rumors or poorly guarded secrets.
I'll go for poorly guarded secrets.
Alright, go ahead and make me that roll.
After all, the lips of a loose cannon can often be trustworthy enough.
Valuable resource.
Possible blackmail, possible information for later use. That is this plus 15. That is a 32.
32.
17 on the die.
Good news, you critically succeed.
Wonderful. Now let's see what these loose lips have to say.
As you walk around the underworld, the black market of the city, you hear talk among some of the more political of the underworld. You hear talk of the people in the fortress have been making moves to seize Elven territory. I hear the orcs have taken massive land in Elvish territory after that weird storm that took out the capital. The Elvish lands have kind of fell into chaos, and it's kind of been a bid for power ever since.
Some of the stuff, of course, he already knows as he was directly there.
And you actually overhear a name.
A name. Now that's important.
I heard that there's a new up-and-coming Grand Regent that's trying to make power plays.
The Grand Regent.
From what you know, the entirety of Holgia is ruled by a council of elected Republic regents. The Grand Regent Council is the highest level of council there is in this Republic. And the name you get is... Give me one moment while I look up my notes. I have it somewhere. I know I do. Apologies, stuff is loading very slowly.
No worries, it happened to me too today. So, I get it.
There we go. Found it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that the new Grand Regent is trying to make power plays, trying to rise up the ranks. Heard his name was Grand Regent Fireshin or something like that.
Fire shit. Grand Region, or it's just Councilman Fireshin, right?
Grand
He's trying to
Regent.
become.
It's Grand Regent or Councilman, whichever you prefer to write down.
Okay. So he is one of the Grand Regents.
That is the name that you
His name
get.
is
Grand
Fireshin.
Regent Fireshin, that is,
Ooh.
that has been trying to make power plays to gain Elvish territory.
Wait a minute. Rory is gonna try and recall if he knows anybody by the name of Fireshin, outside of what he knows now about him being a Grand Regent.
What are you going to be using to make that roll?
I'm gonna be using, let's see. I'm gonna recall that knowledge using society. Also, like, with subtlety, I'm going to, like, look at the, grimoire.
So you're pulling out your grimoire. Make me a stealth check.
I will do that. Natural 20 plus 19, that's 39.
Damn.
And I'm a master in stealth.
Yes. Here's the thing. You're in the black market, so most of these people are really good at stealth.
You're in a room full of masters, so you're not actually special.
True.
Fortunately, they did roll lower than you. So you're able to sneak off into a dark corner and pull out your grimoire.
Fireshin. I know of the and so he's like kind of scrolling through the book, turning its pages to see if there's anything mentioning other people he might have known. This
As you scroll through the book, you open up to the first page, and immediately you see it. This is the journal of Ezekiel Fireshin, the High Magistrate of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth the Elegant of the 12th Elvish Court.
and immediately Rory's like, no. In his mind, he's just like, no, this can't be it. No way. No, this is bad. He's going to, upon hearing that, and upon, like, sneaking off, looking at his grimoire, putting it back, and then leaving,
Information.
I am going back to Granny's where Duzon is.
You race back to Granny's.
Duzon?
Is Duzon back yet? Does not seem like it. Oh,
I am.
hello, Duzon.
Duzon? Duzon?
What?
We need to talk.
What is it?
We're in trouble.
Go on with it. Come on.
He's here.
Who?
You know, the one that teleported us and all that?
The wizard.
Worse yet. Actually, let's just... Granny, do you have a room available? I'd like to buy one for the night.
Oh, a room only just for you two.
That's fine.
It's gonna cost you 3 copper each, so 6 copper.
He gives up a gold for it and tells her to keep the change.
Oh, you're just the charmer today, aren't you?
After a meal like that, I can't help it. Let's go, Duzon.
Come on. All right.
Okay. And as we get into the room, and I lock it and make sure, like, nothing. Like, I barricade the door, like, I am
Check the window,
making sure-
barricade the window.
Like, there is not, like, I'm, like, shutting the blinds, the curtains,
You're
whatever.
going full conspiracy theorist.
I want to make sure not a single peep leaks through this room at all. I don't
Yeah, so
like.
you're going full conspiracy theorist.
I really don't like that chip.
Oh, that's
Oh.
nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Oh God. So yeah, and in any case, is there anything, Donovan, that might be impeding us to get there?
Anything that's stopping you from getting to the room?
Getting to the room, are we being followed?
Make me a perception check.
Okay. 19 plus 17, that should be...
He's getting afraid because he is actually going on the conspiracy
36.
train.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. I got a 36.
36. While you don't outwardly see anything, you do get the feeling that you're kind of being watched, but also you logic it out. You are in Granny's domain. It is very likely that she is the one watching you.
Okay. If Granny's the one watching, he's gonna kind of ease up on the tension a little bit. Because again, you know, far be it for me to disturb anything in Granny's domain, you know. But anyway, so Duzon, that wizard, he infiltrated the Hogia Republic.
Oh my.
He's a government official. He's a reagent.
No.
He is the reason Hogia might be making moves in the Elvish territory. He was an Elvish representative. He was an Elvish political figure. And now, he's a Hogian political figure. And no one's the wiser.
We need to find him and kill him.
Are we sure we could even do something like that?
What better plan do we have?
We have, right? I don't even know if what I have is enough, but we can try. Surely there's something where Cyrus, he needs to be aware.
Back at home.
Home. Oh boy.
He didn't specify. All you guys saw was he ran in a direction, started flying, and
Well, never mind.
it was up to you guys.
No, you told me you were going home.
Yeah, but you don't know where that is.
Okay. I just,
All he said was home. He didn't say what street name or where that is.
He went home. I don't know if we'll be seeing him again, but it is a good idea we find him.
But there's too many variables. If we don't, but then again, assassinating a potential political person, it could potentially cause us to, I don't know, become outlaws. I mean, technically, already I am one, but you see,
The fate.
you are a guardian of nature, and right now,
Somewhere in Rory's rational mind, he remembers that Cyrus has a very good amount of jewelry on him for a simple adventurer and is likely some kind of nobility.
Wait a minute. But, so anyway,
All I know,
so, like,
this is bigger than being an outlaw. This is bigger than how the law sees us.
and if
The
we could
fate
save
of
the
this
world,
country is in stake. And if I do anything, I know that if that is who you're talking about, this is why I was awoken. And I will complete my task, or burn trying.
okay, so let's find Cyrus,
Very well.
and we'll talk, but we need to come up with a strategy because taking down a political figure of that high is extremely suicidal. I mean, he already is a suicide mission, but this is worse. Because if he has allies in the political system, he's gonna have a whole bed of support.
Let us go
I like
find him
that.
then.
Yes, we shouldn't delay, and then we'll return here,
Yes.
assuming we don't meet a fate worse than death.
Just go and we'll find out.
Alright, so we're gonna book it, but, as Rory and Duzon book it, he is going to use, society to discern, like, you know, he's familiar with the city, but ultimately he's trying to figure out, Cyrus seems to be well off from what he remembers in his travels with him throughout these months. So he's gonna assume, but also kind of navigate towards the middle upper class parts of society to kind of give him a better purview of where he is.
Okay.
It's an approximation, but I'm kind of like trying to navigate to that part of the city quickly.
Let's see what happens.
So am I allowed to make the society check?
Nope.
Nope, okay.
I am rolling percentile because you are looking for a place that you have never been before and you don't know where it is.
Fair enough. I don't
All
know
right.
why, but the fact, mhm.
What was that?
The fact that this is on loop makes it all the more intimidating. But go ahead.
As you're rushing through the city, trying to find where you think Cyrus may be, you find a relatively nice area with a whole bunch of buildings in it that look like houses.
Yuzan, do you know what his last name is?
No.
Oh, great. Anybody know a Cyrus?
You're just asking this out loud?
Like to any like passersby? Do you know Cyrus? Yay high? Like he tries to describe it.
One person kind of like basically running through the city as well, kind of like skirts to a stop, like, "Yee, I know Cyrus."
All right. Do you know where he would live?
He kind of like takes a step back at that. Why you want to know?
We're his friends, and we have an urgent message to deliver.
Roll diplomacy.
Fair enough. That is a 23.
He looks you up and down. You're his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He kind of shrugs. Well, points to one of the houses. He should be there. Now, I gotta deliver this message to his father, so I'll be off.
Does Rory believe that he pointed to the right house? Probably not. Rory's gonna use stealth to follow him carefully.
You're following the
Big ass,
messenger?
but I will.
Yeah, after all, he's saying something about delivering a message to his father, so I figure if anything, if it leads him to, like, the father's house is separate from Cyrus's place of residence, at the very least he gets that much closer to Cyrus.
Okay.
Unless, of course, he's mistaken, but he's gonna follow until he's convinced that this is not the direction that will lead him to Cyrus.
Okay, so unfortunately, unless you give him quite a bit of distance ahead of you, you're not really going to be able to roll stealth because there is no concealment in this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, no, I'm giving him... This is Rory's thievery kicking in, where he's like, we're gonna give him a decent amount of time before we start tracking.
Then go ahead and roll stealth.
That is a... That's a 30.
You are able to successfully stay hidden and track this messenger all the way to a what looks to be like a what's it called? Medical ward. That's it, medical ward.
Medical ward. Oh, gotcha.
and you see the messenger go inside the medical ward, and takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes before the messenger comes back out and starts running off to go do something else.
Now, with this medical facility, does Rory notice a sign that indicates anything at all?
It says hospice on it.
Hospice? No name of the guy that owns or runs this place?
No.
Not a... okay. Oh, rats.
The most is like the name of the town. It's like name of town hospice. Like, for example, St. Augustine's Hospice, but instead of St. Augustine, it would be Durinsk, Hospice of Durinsk, or something like that.
Yeah, okay. What do you say? Am I by myself? Or is Duzon following me?
I'm assuming that Duzon was following you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, do we go into this hospice and ask for Osiris? Or are we gonna have to go back and go to that house that he pointed at? It's a gamble. And we don't have much time. Or at least I feel like we don't. But...
If Cyrus doesn't live at the house, we go to the hospice. Go.
So, what are we doing, to be clear, Pete?
We're going to the house. There's option hospice and option house. Is that wrong?
Yeah, and right now we're at the hospice.
Let's go to the house.
Okay, so we're gonna check the house first?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. We'll go to the house first, and then go to the hospice as a last resort.
Okay, so you make your way back to the area, and I'm gonna say you can recall the house that the messenger pointed to pretty easily. So you go up to the house, and what do you do to get whoever is inside's attention?
I'm going to knock on the door, because
Good call.
in my adventuring experience, I know if he knocks, it's gonna not end so well.
Good call.
So he kind of knocks.
Cyrus, you hear a knock on the door.
Oh, thank the gods.
What was that, Rory? What was that?
Oh, dang it.
You say something? In character?
Yep.
Yeah, you're not avoiding that, my guy.
I know I'm not, which is why I realized. Yep. Alright.
I've been muted this whole time, kind of laughing at, like, I love you guys, but you guys are being so dumb and I love you for it. And now we're here.
You
Yep,
guys.
that's a will
You
save,
guys.
right?
Excuse you?
Am I right in
Like, the
saying
house is
so?
right there. Let's follow the messenger.
I don't know if he was being truthful or not. He might have
Well,
not
you
believed
do.
me. Anyway, Dawn,
Give me a minute. Hold on. I need to roll on the table of consequences.
oh no. I already know how to speak in the fourth wall. I don't know if it. Oh gosh, this is gonna be interesting.
I mean, since you're already here, you may as well commit to it.
All right, Rory. You
No,
take
I can't back out of it.
you take 12 points of mental damage as you take a sudden, massive migraine. As you don't know how, you don't know why, but you know for an absolute fact, Cyrus is in there.
Dawn, these headaches. This is the right place, Duzon.
How are you certain?
I call it the gut feeling. Every time I get this headache, something's certain. I can't put a finger on it. Just but
I'll go and answer the door.
At your door is Duzon and Rory clutching his head in pain.
okay. Hi. Oh, good, you're here. We've got a problem. Outside of my massive headache.
Now, why did I leave you alone to go tell my family I'm fine, and the first thing I see is you're already injured again?
It's fine.
In
It's
some
fine.
capacity.
Never mind that. This is important.
I could probably just drink a health potion and be okay about injuries. That's not the important thing right now. The most important thing is we're in a lot more danger, and this city is in a lot more danger.
Do you want to keep explaining?
Cyrus, you
so-
hear your mom call for you. Who's there, sweetie?
Some people I know from the teleportation incident.
Well, invite them inside, will you?
Right. This way.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna look at Duzon. Please, don't interact with the doors. I saw you walk through a metal vault. I don't need you breaking the walls of the house.
He looks at him, ducks his head to walk through the already open door, and then just goes about entering the house.
All right. This headache.
Beyond Rory's splitting headache, he'd probably notice that this is definitely upper class.
Lovely place and all that. Formalities. Sorry, this headache is really something.
I'll explain it then.
Go ahead.
There's... Alright, I will now explain. I will not explain. I will sum up. The wizard teleported us. He is possibly a Holgian official.
It's the same wizard. For the
Which will
elvish
explain.
place.
Which will explain why they're taking more territory.
They're
I
getting
don't think you guys have
influence.
ever told me that wizard's name.
His name is Fireshin.
That's his last name.
May I recall knowledge about that name to see if it actually is familiar to any degree,
Sure.
insofar as Durinsk and Holgian Upper Society?
Sure. Go ahead.
Ooh, natural 20. For... Win 34. I almost said 24 for some reason.
I was gonna say, you only have a
34.
+4?
No, I have a plus 14.
Okay, so unfortunately that is still a failure.
Oh, wow. That's literally the highest I could have rolled.
However, you do get good information. And the fact that you try to recall through all of your history books of Holgia specifically, and there's no mention of anyone by the last name of Fireshin. However, you recall some of your Elven history books. And some hundreds of years ago, under the 12th court of the Elvish Queen, there was a high magistrate of the last name Fireshin. And that is what you recall.
Yeah. I was more or less trying to get, like, if there's any modern or knowledge of, like, yeah, walk back, yeah, it's like, if his name's on other people, or was on other people before the teleporting.
Nope. The only person that you can, even through your history books, that you can think of was this one mention of a High Magistrate Fireshin for the 12th Court of the Elvish Circle.
Yeah.
So you're saying an Elven High Magistrate is speaking with Holgian officials?
Is a Hogan
Or-
official.
Is.
But he's a regent. He is. And however he got elected, he is. And now I have no idea what he's going to do. But this book, and he pulls out the grimoire, has told me that he has access to powers beyond our understanding, which is why we're having such trouble nailing him, stopping him. And I know your family, from what you've been telling us on our trip to get back home, they know magic. Maybe they can help understand what this grimoire means.
I'll take a crack at it. If I can't figure it out, grandmother can usually figure these things out pretty well. And I'll take the book and start trying to read it.
You read through... What's that?
I'll read through it as comprehensively but quickly as I can since they're rushing.
You start more or less skimming through the book, and something strange. You notice that you can understand Elvish, correct?
Yes, Elven is one of my known languages.
Okay. The first couple pages of the book are written in Elvish. It says that this diary belonged to, or this grimoire belonged to one Ezekiel Fireshin, the High Magistrate of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth the Elegant of the 12th Elvish Court, and that they are writing this journal to record the discovery of something major. And then you get past the first couple of pages, and the writing becomes incomprehensible. It doesn't even look like Elvish anymore. It looks like the mad scribblings of a person who's gone insane.
Okay.
Anything?
Other than it looks like the ravings of a lunatic. Beyond the first few pages.
Rory.
Yes?
That comes across as weird for you because you can read it just
No.
fine.
No. Wait a minute. Turn to the page that you're saying is scribbles.
I'll turn to where the scribbles begin.
You can understand this writing just fine, Rory.
Well, it says right here that, and then he goes into whatever the page says. This isn't scribbles. It might be cryptic. This could be encoded, but to me, this doesn't seem to be encrypted at all. This isn't like
Gonna,
a cipher.
Slightly eyebrow raise him.
And trust me, with my background, I've gotten familiar with hiding messages. Maybe... Yeah, no, this clearly says what it says.
Rory is not lying. He is reading what looks like, to you at the very least, the mad scribblings of a crazy person fluently.
And like you see him like
So-
tracing the scribbles, like reading it as though it was ordinary text. As he traces the scribbles.
So you're fluent in the language of the clinically insane.
Now wait just one moment. I am not insane. Traumatized beyond belief, sure. Near-death encounters, seeing gods of rot and death, not exactly something you do every day. But crazy is not one of those things that I am. But, in any case, this man has access to something most of us don't. Some power that he wanted to tap into. Maybe that's the power that's oppressing all of us. And it's in this grimoire. Maybe the key to defeat him is in this book.
Okay, then what is this mysterious power? Any specification?
A force beyond understanding.
In the book, Rory, Ezekiel refers to it as the Beyond, or the Great Beyond.
The force that he's talking about is something called the Beyond.
Which is what
Not-
some people refer to as the afterlife.
Oddly enough, you would think that, right? Except he doesn't describe it like an afterlife. Similar, like it's a plane, like an afterlife is a plane, a realm, but it's beyond the afterlife. It's literally beyond that.
Cyrus, what it sounds like to you, that what Brari is describing, it sounds like he's describing an outer plane. Something beyond even the elemental planes, something beyond your personal knowledge.
So which would be this infernal, celestial, astral plane.
Abyssal, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And
right. I know I'm an expert in the elemental planes, but right after that are just where the angels, devils,
Horrors.
all the eldritch horrors, all those come from outside the elemental planes. They're as far out as you get.
now, according to his entries, it says that it's beyond that, too. At least, that's what it appears to be. He tried to contact the forces outside. Now, I guess with Eldritch and Divines, it could be tantamount to madness to try and single-handedly talk to any of those.
Well,
I mean,
would say
outside
more on
of
the
prayer or
side of
cultic,
eldritch,
right? But,
even
like,
cultic rituals, they'd still go insane for eldritch beings.
right. But this power seems to be much more than that. It can
So building
communicate.
blocks of the universe old.
That might be something to go off of. Yes, it's probably that old, if not older. And that's crazy, because, you know, we have the gods, and the gods made things like us, I'm sure. So, like, what could be older than gods and eldritch things? Does anyone know?
Well, it would usually begin with whoever started creating the universe, whichever being began that, whether it was God, eldritch, or some other primordial force.
So,
And that would be
might.
the oldest thing.
He might. That's... Wait. He might. That might be his motive. He was trying to reach out to that being. Be it Eldritch, be it God, be it somewhere in between, or both. He's trying to talk to that. The originator of all things.
I just want you to know that without context and without me being a more learned person, you would sound like you belong in an asylum.
He was capable of destroying an entire nation with one Necrostorm.
City.
A city. He created a power vacuum that's destroying a nation right now. And right now, he's on the move to regain his homeland.
Now, admittedly, I know not many details of the Necrostorm, other than what's been spoken of. But there have been disasters in the past that have wiped out far more than just one city.
Right. But you've got to understand, if this fire shin is the same as that fire shin, we, as a nation, as a world, are in serious trouble. What would be the consequences if he actually managed to talk to and convince the creator of all things to, well, I don't know, rewrite the world how he wants it?
I would say you'd have to be very convincing to get that done.
Some beings, right, could be persuaded if they align with a certain goal, like Borealis, for example, would be persuaded to move and make miracles of nature happen through... correct me if I'm wrong, Duzon, but like, wouldn't it be that if you tend to nature well, and the seasons well, Borealis would bless you, thus she would be more inclined to listen to your requests?
If you if you follow her will and defend nature, she is good to you.
As is true of many divine beings.
So if
But you're talking about a creator god who would have created the universe. If we haven't been remade already, why would we be remade now?
Because something is off. Maybe he wants to demonstrate to this higher power that he is capable of creating too. And what would be more curious to an inventor than a protege? Someone that wants to be like him. Not in a competition sense. Maybe he's trying to learn how to reshape the world to his design.
Sounds like every other megalomaniac.
And to exact revenge on the elvish homeworld that disavowed him. His home country, he was disavowed because of his theories and findings in this book.
Right. Wouldn't be the first case of academic blacklisting I've ever heard of.
Right. So when the country turns its back,
it wouldn't be the first wizard who has gone little over the edge because they believe themselves to be correct.
and so what do we do in that case? Now clearly, motive-wise, crime-wise, this reagent has been exiled from his position and is naturally angry and upset about that, but then there's the element of this beyond thing that he's so sought after.
Right.
Now let's say...
Putting the crazy aside, you want to go in and check to see if this person is the same.
If we do,
person
we
listed.
risk exposing ourselves and possibly killing everyone around us. I don't know what the answer could be. We need to do something. If only I knew what that was. Ah, this headache.
Well, you could always get get an official piece of paper that he signed and check the handwriting.
Right. Let's go. I mean, going to the archives and finding a document he signed should be easy.
What would that accomplish?
It would just prove
Confirming the
identity. But what if he had enough time, centuries, to change his handwriting?
Well, possible. Writing habits are hard to change.
Some writing
And
habits
for-
are hard.
Correct. And there are just certain, how do I put it? Certain ways different people write that kind of identify them compared to other writers. Whether that's something like they constantly forget to dot their I's, or they don't lift their pen from the paper every time they write a new letter.
Hmm.
Things like that.
Hey, I'm gonna interrupt real quick. I'm gonna give you like 10, 15 minutes to finish up before the end of the session.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Are we ending soon?
Yeah, we should.
Outside of that, if you wanted to, you could request my grandmother to divine something for you.
I might. This will sound insane. This part, I will concede, will sound insane. But maybe your grandmother and I can work this out together. I have information. Your grandmother is what, a diviner, you say?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So that must mean. Okay, so if I give her this information and give her the grimoire, then we could possibly divine a solution. And the solution,
Or look
Maybe.
into the person's past, or scry on them in the present, etc.
or maybe we could beat him to the punch. If he's trying to get in contact or get the Beyond Power noticed, maybe we could beat him to it and convince him this creator entity to wipe him out. Just nip him in the butt. Blow him out like a candle. And our world would be safe.
Right. You
What
at least
makes
do
you
acknowledge the insanity of that statement.
what makes you think it would be that easy?
It won't. But could we really afford 1, 2, maybe even more necrostorms possibly popping up while he tries to dominate the world?
No.
Sometimes we might have to do something extremely crazy. You said it yourself, where our public image may not matter anymore. Our seen as outlaws or seen as sane. We might have to do something drastic. But if that means protecting the countless of lives here, that's a possibility.
Then I see no
This
reason to
headache of
wait.
mine. One thing I need is to get this headache gone, so that we could think more thoroughly, or perhaps maybe that we can really get a plan in motion. I know waiting isn't great, but this headache.
With that
Can't
being
see
said,
shit.
I'm going to. Sorry for the sudden cut off, Rory, but
Yeah,
I'm
no
going to
worries.
cut it off here.
Yep.
It's getting very late,
Yeah,
and
very late.
yes.
we
Yes.
some of us would like to go to bed.
I know I would like to go to bed too, so
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad to leave it at that cliffhanger if you'd like to.
That's yeah.
All right, we're
I think-
leaving
I
it
think
off
that's a good
with
spot
the
to leave it
plan to show the grimoire to Cyrus's granny, and possibly raid the fortress to see if this person is real or not. For those of you watching, why are you still here?